Hey Snappers, what's going on? Today we're going to be looking at the 10 most hidden features within Marvel Snap. The game's still fairly new, it's in beta, so there's a lot of little features kind of hidden behind various menus, things maybe you didn't pick up on first, and maybe some tips and techniques you can pick up as we play the game. So let's jump right in and take a look at what we can discover. All right, for tip number 1, how to share and import decks. So if you've been out on the internet and if you've been on the various websites and Discords, you'll see people passing decks and deck codes around. A lot of questions I see around how do I actually get this into the game. So if you come down here to your collection tab and you go into a deck, you'll see this little menu on the top here, and there's a couple things we'll be talking about in this video that live here as well. But if you hop in here, you'll see two options, share and paste. So if you have a buddy and you have a cool deck you've made, you can actually click the share button. It will actually copy your deck to your clipboard, which you can then paste into a text message or an email or post up on the various websites like snap.fan, marvelsnap.io, Marvel Snap Zone. Those all have great deck builders, and you can share and build your decks there as well. But if you have one that you've already got from, say, a website or a buddy sent you one, you would come here and you would click paste. It would actually show you a preview of the deck, and when you paste it in, there you go, you got your deck. So that's how you import a deck. If you want to take this deck and then share it with a person, you can click share. It's now on your clipboard. You can paste that wherever you feel wherever you need to send it to a buddy or to a friend, and then off you go. All right, tip number 2, something I've seen people ask quite a few times. How do I change my card back? So again, if you jump into your collection and go to the deck you want to change the card back on, if you click on that little menu, the hamburger menu thing here again, and you click on the card itself, you'll actually see all the card backs. And you'll collect these either through the collection level or through Battle Pass rewards. Sometimes you get them through ranking up during the season. They've kind of experimented with different ways of doing that. But this is how you would pick one. You'd click the one you want, click equip, and there you go. You got yourself a brand new card deck back. And when you go back to your list, you'll see it's right there. So when you pick that deck and you start playing it, there you go. Oh, that's a different one. There you go. Okay, that's how you change card backs. All right, tip number 3, how to favorite cards, and what does that do? So if you come into your collection and you have a card that you're very fond of, let's say Angela, where I've collected a few variants of her, and I've split her a bunch of times, so I've got all these different flavors, but there's usually going to be one that you really like the best. So if you actually click on the card and you see over here on this left side, you can click this panel, which will show you all the different variants you have. And if you go through here, you'll actually see all the ones you've split, all the ones you've collected, and you can actually click this star button right here. And this will select you as a favorite. So that will actually do a couple things. One of the things it will do is if you come back to your deck collection and you're trying to build a deck, and you go to this filter and you say uncheck all variants, it will actually show you your favorite variants. So if we find Angela in this list, she's a 2 cost. Let's sort by cost. You'll see that Angela will be the one I picked, right? So when you're doing your filtering, that will actually make that one your main card. So if I came back in here, say, and picked a different variant, we'll pick this golden one. Oops, I don't want to do that. We'll go back here. We'll pick this golden one. We'll make that the favorite. We'll go back. Now when I look, you'll see she shows up here. So that's one thing it does. The second thing it does is if you go and you paste a deck and it has one of these cards that you have multiple variants of and you've picked a favorite, it will automatically put that card into your deck. So that way when you're building a deck or you're pasting a deck, you'll always get the favorite card you want. It always gives you something to kind of do with your collection. You can come back through here. You can pick your favorites. Something to keep in mind, something to do between games, and maybe you're waiting for that last guy you played to move on to the next one so you don't get a repeat battle. But that's what the favoriting system is right now today, and that's where it kind of comes to effect in the game. All right, tip number 4, hidden feature number 4. So this is something that I think I've seen asked a bunch of times, and the question is my name in the game unique? So it is not unique. Your name can actually be used by another person. They have not put friends list in yet, but that's something they say is coming soon. So if you ever want to find out your actual ID, you can come to settings. So I click the settings tab here. I scroll to the very bottom of this, and if you click here, it will actually show you your Snap ID. So my actual account number or my account name actually has a bunch of numbers after it. So that's true for everybody. It's something I've seen people ask over and over, is my name unique? It is not unique. All right, hidden feature number 5, splitting and how the rarity of those splits are in the game as of now, just a couple days after release. So I mentioned this in the previous video. I'll put a link in that up above. But the one thing to keep in mind is there's a couple special effects in the game. Two of them to be precise. One of them is called Inkify, and it gives your card kind of an inkified look. So basically a black and white look, like it's got wet ink on it. And there's also a golden, and so that's like a golden background. As it stands today, the rarities are the inkified version is more prevalent, so less rare than the gold. So if you get an inktified version of a card, that's sort of the second tier, and then gold would be the first tier, I guess, as far as rarities go. The other thing that is rare is this thing called the Kirby Crackle. At least that's what most people call it. You can see it has this sort of effect on the right. So generally you'll get a split card with a background, and then you'll have an effect. So this is the most rare effect. So if you're able to get an inkified card or a gold card with a Kirby Crackle today, as the game stands, that would be considered the most rare. So in this case, I have a golden Kirby Crackle Angela. I'm not trying to flex, I'm just showing you that this would be considered a very rare card, at least in terms of the game today. I'm sure in a year from now this will be nowhere near the most rare card in the game, but as of today, just to kind of give you a baseline. So again, to remind people, you get gold and inkifies by splitting cards. You split cards by leveling them up and spending your boosters and your credits. After you do, I think it's 4, I could be wrong here, after you do 4 splits, you do get access to these. Another thing to keep in mind, you can see I have the original Angel. This is the one you'll get to your collection levels as you level up. You see I have a variant, but the one thing to keep in mind here as well is if you split a card that you already have, if you split it, like say the base card this many times, when you get a variant of it, you get a shot at the ink and the gold as well without having to do that card 4 times. So kind of a cool little feature. It's hidden. It's not really well known. I did cover this in the previous video, but it's so important, and one of the questions I think I see asked the most. I wanted to kind of go through it again today. All right, hidden feature number 6. So in this case, this isn't really as hidden, but it might not be as apparent to people what it's good for and why you might want to take advantage of it. So when you look at your daily missions, you'll notice there's a refill here. So this comes in really handy if maybe you weren't able to play the game for a few days and you're behind on your weekly challenges. This is a really good thing to spend gold on if you're looking to catch up here, particularly because the rewards you'll get through these collection tracks, these credits, and you also get gold here as well as the XP for your season pass, is a very good value for the 120 gold. If you finished up your weekly challenges, it becomes not as valuable because you won't get these additional rewards. But again, if you're behind and you're trying to catch up and you have some spare gold, this is a great place to spend it. Something to keep in mind as you're playing through. All right, hidden feature number 7. Although this one isn't as hidden, you'll see I changed the view a bit because I'm in the mobile emulator. But one of the things I see asked a lot is how to turn off the vibration as you're playing the game. And so that's actually called haptics, and that shows up in the settings icon up in this top left corner. And you'll see a slider here where you can turn that on and off. So if you don't like the buzzing or if you feel like it's using up too much of your battery, this is a place where you can come in, you can turn that off. You can also adjust the graphics quality here as well as the frames per second. On my phone, I generally run it, I think at a medium and in 60 frames per second. I don't run high because it just seems to eat battery. But if you have, a decent phone and you're charged up and you want to make some adjustments there, you can play around with it and see. But again, if you're looking for a way to turn off that buzzing, you can do that there. As a note, there's also this option to download all the assets for the game. If you're going to be traveling or if you're on a mobile connection and you have limitations there, this is something you can do when you're on Wi-Fi. You can just click this button here and it will pull down all the card art, all the various art and assets it needs to play the game, and that will save you some bandwidth on the mobile lines, I guess you could say, if you're out traveling or if you want to save some of your bandwidth for other things. All right, hidden feature number 8. Although this one's sort of in plain sight, it gets missed a lot, and it's this sorting option here. So one of the things I think that I use this for the most is the actual quality sort. So when I'm looking to upgrade cards, I'll pick this and I'll do it 2 different ways. If I'm looking to update gray cards, which are the best bang for the buck, so if you spend your 25 to get an upgrade level, that's the best in the game right now. I'll do that. So I'll sort it by quality. But if I'm looking to do some or maybe more of the other cards where I'm closer to maybe splitting them, once you get up to the infinite level of the card, it's a good way to kind of sort down. So you can see all mine at the top level are done, but Magic here, she's ready for an upgrade. So if I was looking to spend a lot of credits maybe split a card, I sort it the other way. So this is something really, really handy. You can also do things like if you're looking to, like say for instance, you have 300 credits, you can get all your purples in one area and kind of dig through which ones maybe you're the most interested in upgrading at one time. Again, that's a really handy feature. All right, hidden feature number 9. It's not actually a hidden feature. Hey, it's a reminder to like and subscribe for the videos. Love making this content. Love people getting to interact and add stuff to the comments, but I need you guys to do that. Most people who actually watch the videos don't like or subscribe, so you could do me a big solid by doing that. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out in the video. Sorry I got one over on you a little bit there, but hey, forgive me. I'll give you one more tip in just a second. All right, and for our final hidden feature, this one's something I actually see asked quite a bit, and I didn't realize it was something that people would miss, but hey, how do I change my portrait? And so you can see I have Goose as my portrait up here. If I wanted to change him, all I need to do is click him, and you'll actually see this honeycombed interface with all the different avatars you've collected as you've played through the game. You can collect these through the collection track by opening the various cases. Sometimes there'll be rewards during ranked play, and they'll also show up in the battle pass. So just basically pick the one you want, tell it you want to switch it with the yes click, and there you go. All right, so that was the 10 hidden features in Marvel Snap. I hope you guys learned something new today. If you know of a hidden feature that maybe I missed or I didn't cover today, or if you have a question about the game or something that maybe isn't apparent to you, throw them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to make another video of these. There'll be new features coming out in the game, I'm sure, as it continues. Second Enter's done a great job getting this thing ready for release, but I know there's a lot more to come. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.